Hi there. Welcome back to the channel. I'm like chomping at the bit right now trying to get on here, get ready, tell you what it is that's coming through. I'm like so excited about this. I like made myself some breakfast. I'm sitting here just like scarfing it down, trying to like hurry up and get on here. I just feel so excited. I feel such joy. I don't even know where to start. I have a song message that I was just rocking out to in my car. I could not have turned it any louder, and I actually did a loop around the block so that I could finish listening to it. It's the Dog Days. Dog Days Are Over by Florence and the Machine. And you know, I have my routine in the morning. I watch my trusty videos from MJ at Soulful Revolution, and I've actually been working on my own videos in the last, week and a half. And I just have so many of them right now. I don't know what order to put them out in, and there's just so much information coming through. It's just like, I don't even know where to start. I haven't released any of them yet, but I have a feeling that's coming up. But there was this theme of joy today. Like, I think the morning message today for MJ was something about your joy is calling. And it's like exactly what I've been getting in some of the messages that I haven't put out yet. There was another one that while I was watching her video, the notification for another channel that I follow came up, and it said something about your, like, joy awaits you or something like that. The concept of joy. The presence of joy is really like making itself known right now. And then this song came on, and I was just like, yes. That's the release. It's like this release. There's something in your energy that has landed. It's like you've seen your value. You've seen yourself, allowed yourself to see yourself in a new way, in a way that you have been blocking seeing yourself, or hearing yourself, or it's like saying what it is that you've always wanted to say, and like taking up for yourself, and like really owning you again. Something in the last week and a half has shifted, and it is big. I just feel this freedom in especially the Divine Feminine Collective that is so empowering, and it's like this call. It is this clarion call that I want you to just allow yourself to be drawn into. This, like, it's like a deer in headlights, just like, I have to go this way, I have to do this thing, I can't not be this anymore, I can't not do this anymore, I can't not say this thing anymore. Am I afraid of what's going to happen when I say the thing? Yes, but I'm going to do it anyway. Baby steps, little tiny things, but if you have a list of things that you've been avoiding, chip away at it. Little bits at a time. Like, there's one thing that's been hovering over me for 3 years now that is just getting worse and worse and worse, and I am more and more afraid of it, more like hiding away from it, more in shame, and it now is affecting so many areas of my life. It almost like keeps me prisoner, that it is a massive tower moment for me. I know it, and I can feel it coming. And just the other day, I just sent a text, or I made a phone call. Just one little tiny step towards it. And I can feel the momentum building towards it. And I'm afraid of facing it completely. But there it is. And it's like, I just can feel what's on the other side of it, though. Like, can you imagine just hiding away and hiding away and hiding away? And then, like, I just see this, like, little girl in a closet. Maybe it's my inner little girl in a closet, hiding, not wanting to be seen. But she just loves the sunshine so much. But she's so afraid to come out of the shadow. She's so afraid to be seen. But she just is so cold. I can feel her shivering, and the cold to me makes me so angry. It makes me tense up. It makes me, like, she's in survival mode. Her body is tense. Her muscles, her everything is tense and cold and shivering, and she's just, she needs warmth. She needs a damn hug is what she needs. But it's like she wants someone around her more than anything else, but she wants to be alone more than anything else too. It's just like, I can't even stand the idea of contact or someone comforting me, because I will lose all of my shit. Any of the shit that I have left to keep together, I'll lose all of it. But she desires it more than anything else. She's so cold right now. And it's almost like she can sense the sun there. But she's so cold. She's so scared to step out into it. So something happened. And maybe it's these solar flares, something in the astrology, something in the evolution of like where we are in the evolutionary cycle has shifted in a way that she heard something. Like I hear her, like, or I see her in this little ball. And you may be wondering why I'm telling you this about myself. I am a mirror. I am your mirror. So there is a part of you that's been in hiding from heartache, from some sort of pain deep down in your heart. The pain of like being ashamed of who you are at your core. And yet wanting to be free, to be that more than any, it's like fighting against who you are has become physically painful. It's like at this point where you cannot deny it anymore. You can't hide from yourself anymore. One of my students in the car yesterday, like, I have a rule where you don't say sorry for yourself. So like if you apologize, I'm going to make you say 3 things that you love about yourself. And he loved that. And it took him a little bit, but he rattled off the 3 things a couple of times because he apologizes a lot. And I said, if you catch me, you can do that with me too. I have a hard time with it too sometimes. And he was like, why do you think it is that it's so hard for people to love themselves? It's easier for them to love other people, but why is it so hard for them to love themselves? This is the reason why. At some point, they were made to feel that their individuality, who they were, who you were, was wrong or bad or not in alignment with these ideals or who these people are. You were dropped into this family that their goals, their values, the way they go about, the way that they see the world is just different, that you're different. And you're supposed to be. But this part of you wants to fit in, be accepted, be validated. That, yes, you are different, and that's exactly what makes you fit in here. At some point, you were shamed for who you were. And all you want is to fit in, so you started to mold yourself. This could be like lifetimes of this happening over and over again. I keep seeing these like Native American children who were forced to abandon the essence of who they were at their core in order to fit into this new society that was being established. And it's like that's the call that's coming from inside of you. If you had a lifetime where that was you, that Indian in you, it's actually what's needed right now. And it's stirring, and the earth is calling for it. Your connection to the earth is everything. And your understanding of it and the way that you interact with it, the way that it's fed back and forth is necessary on the planet right now. And you teaching other people how to do that is necessary too. how to be authentic, how to come out and be authentically you, because that the signal, the frequency of you is, you see the state of the world right now? The reason it is the way that it is because so many people have buried and hidden the essence of themselves. Collectively, it's coming to a head. And it's false. There's so many things that are fake, that are programs and not real. And the stir of the truth underneath of it all is starting to, it's like imploding. It's like you shrink down, shrink down, shrink down, shrink down. It's like the supernova. And then it explodes and all of this light is released. That's what I'm seeing right now. So this little girl in the closet. It's coming to a point where it's like under the crack of the door, she can see just the littlest sliver of light. And she's like, touches it with her finger and then backs off. She can feel the difference in temperature. And then all of a sudden, it's like the door starts to open just a little bit. There's something about this open door. I think MJ even said something about that in her video, like, allow the door to open, or I don't know, something like that. And it is all about coming back into your heart, opening the door of your heart. That's where we're going with all of this. The door is just cracked. It's not swung open. Like the shock of that amount of light after having been in the closet for that long would be just overwhelming. Just the littlest bit of light. And she sneaks over just a little bit and puts her foot in it. Just allows her foot to absorb the warmth of the light. The brightness of it, it's like she's not looking at it with her eyes. She's just like allowing herself to feel it, her body to feel it. She's coming back into a place of intuition and feeling emotion. Your emotions are wrong. That's what she was told. Your emotions are wrong and bad and shh and quiet and don't say that and don't feel that and don't cry and whatever. That was buried very deep down in her body. And so it's like she's just getting back in touch with her body again. Just like letting her feel the warmth through her skin. And it just like sends these waves of warmth through her. And it's like, I can feel these chills. Like it gives me chills. Because it's starting to chip away at the cold. They're closed off. Like your heart has been closed off by hurt for so long in survival mode. It's like awakening now. It's awakening. Now, that's the image that I see. What is she hiding from? She's actually hiding from joy. The freedom to just be. That like being. Embodying you. Your reason for being here. It's joy. It's flow. It's like happiness and light and warmth. And that's what, at the end of the day, she's been hiding from all of this time. Makes so much sense I had this breakthrough in my therapy this week. If you don't know, I speak about this a lot, but I see a therapist every single week. I'm doing EMDR therapy, and it is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. And if you've been around this channel for a while, you know that I do a lot of shadow work. I'm a freaking warrior, and I have been for years and years. And I explore modalities. I do energy healing. I like do acupuncture. I've meditated for a long time. I do Reiki. It's like I explore all the ways to open myself up, to figure out and peel away whatever it is that I feel blocking, and to dig deeper into my intuition, and to heal, and to break free of this invisible force that I didn't even know was there, but then when I realized that it was there, it was just so uncomfortable. And I have just done a deep dive into the shadow for years. And I just face it and face it and face it. And then I hide away, and then I face it, and then I hide away. This EMDR, it's just this reprocessing in your brain, this reprogramming in your brain, reprocessing traumas and belief systems. And there's been a couple of specific traumas that I have been working on for, year and a half, maybe longer, in EMDR itself. I 3 years of therapy before that too, kind of leading up for it, and it was almost like prep work for the EMDR. To reprogram very rooted belief systems that in my, like, most human of places, felt like it was keeping me safe. It kept me in survival mode from the time I was 4 years old, maybe 5 years old. But my understanding was that's what felt safe. Survival mode. So I've been chipping away at it, and there has come this point. I told my therapist the one day, I'm just like, how much more? How much longer? Like, I've gotten to a point where I'm exhausted. This is such hard work. When am I done? She was like, you're so close. We keep getting to a point, though, where I feel like you're getting ready to take that step or like really turn the corner. And it's this, maybe like an aha moment, or we're so close. And then I feel like there is this point, something steps in and holds you back, or takes you back a couple of steps. And maybe we look at like what that is. She's like, because I feel like we have kind of moved through the majority of it. And then something happens and it brings you back here. So let's figure out what that is. I'm pretty sure that next week, my inner child was kind of showing me that it was her afraid of change, afraid of, and what's going to change for her. She will have to come out of survival mode. She will have to come out of victim mode and actually be happy and like let herself feel that. And that's what she would reel back against, because she feels like she can't protect herself in that energy. When she's in this open, receiving, flowing, like joyful state, something bad happens, or something bad did happen. When she was that, she was like fully this like divine being, this beautiful, just, you know, open child. And someone said, don't be that. That's wrong. That's too much. Her joy, her grace, her beauty, her like deep down pure bliss, happiness, was triggering for someone else. It was scary for someone else. It felt like a threat to someone else, someone she really loved and trusted. And essentially, they told her, don't be that, or you don't kind of fit in over here. That's too much, or whatever it is. So this part of her, God, the God spark inside of her, the piece of God that she is like calling to her. Of course it is. The truth is calling to her. I'm just seeing these solar flares again too. So anytime the sun flares like that, it's like this clarion call. It's like this, it tunes into the vibration of that light inside of her, and it wants to emerge. This dormant self, these dormant codes are just like coming to the surface, and she's like, no, shh. You're gonna be rejected. You won't fit in. Shh. When you stand out, people will attack you. That's calling. That feels like danger to her. And so, as hard as we have worked towards being happy, feeling free, she then makes efforts to, no, but let's just stay here. Let's just stay here. I don't know what's next. It's too scary. I feel alone in it. I just feel alone. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be alone, but I don't know how to connect with other people in a real way, like just like to be me. Because she doesn't trust her body. She doesn't trust the signals. She doesn't trust her intuition. She doesn't trust the essence of the feminine inside of her. Someone damaged her feminine in the very beginning, and it made her not trust who she was and the beauty of the way that her body signals to her. In whatever way, signals to her that there's danger or there's joy. And there was this I'm just seeing in her brain this like a short circuit or something in the communication about joy. There's this program around joy that signals her danger mechanism. 2222 on my recording. Magic isn't real. So we, in EMDR, I feel like have gotten to the point where we located that program, the thing around joy that needs to be rewired, the thing that sends the signal for danger. And it's connected to her heart. It's connected to her heart rhythms. I just see these electrical circuits around her heart. Because there's pain. There's real pain in the heart there because of how deeply she can love. When she opens herself up fully, the pain that goes along with like losing something or losing someone, like being human and loving something so much that when you lose it, it's like a piece of you. It's like mourning a piece of you. The pain of that is just almost unbearable because of how deeply she's able to love. So she turned off. It's like, I can love this much. It's like this infinite sphere. It's not even a sphere. It's just this infinite space. She closed that down and put it in a little teeny tiny box. Like, I will only allow myself to love in this little bit of way, because then I'll only put myself out there just this little tiny bit, because otherwise if I was wide open, something that hurts is going to hurt infinitely. I do believe that there's value in boundaries, but this is more than boundaries. And how much she's willing to give to something that before she would give and give and give and give and give, but it wasn't like I mean, she does have all of this love and all of this just like energy and beauty about her that she wants to give to another person, but she would give and give and give in order to try to fit in, to be accepted, to do it in their way in a little bit so that they could validate her and like, she has this pain. Something happened. Something happened to you that you need to open the door to. And it's like you may think that you have processed it. You might think, well, I've done the work on that. I've done the work on that. There is another layer of it right now that is going to open you to a level of joy that you haven't touched. And you weren't meant to until now. Until the state of the world, the process of this evolution, until we got to this point right here. You were meant to, when the world is coming to its like lowest point, like I am probably at one of the, I don't know, like as a human, at one of the lowest points in my life, or just like one of the most unorganized. My finances are terrible. I'm just, it's like I'm at the 0 point. And it feels to me like I just am lost and swimming around and trying to figure out these answers and just like, what do I do with my life? Or where do I go? And how am I going to make money? And like, do I go to school? And what would I study? And what about relationship? And like my kids, I'm so worried about the damage with my kids. And like, I just feel like I'm doing it alone. Like I'm doing life alone, and I'm come to a point where it's just like I just can't anymore. It's because I've been trying to do it all alone. It's because I have kept myself in that closet separate from other people, not wanting to really like connect on a deeper level, though I crave that more than anything else. Because then they'll see me. Then they'll see the real me. And they're going to tell me, that's not good enough, or I don't like that, or that's bad, or that's wrong, and don't be that, and try to talk me into being something else or seeing things a different way in order to fit in with them. And God, whoever it is that I am holding myself back from because they might say that to me, it's like there's a part of me that loves them so much. And I just want so bad to do things the way that they do things. Because I want them to love me back the way that I love them. And there's just no way that they ever could unless I was just so true to me. So that's what my student asked me, is like, why is it so hard to love other people? But it's so, or why is it so easy to love other people and not yourself? And so that's why, like, I have to use that as a mirror, like my ability to love and to give and to see other people and to want them to be more them than they ever were before, and to help them to move through the shadows to get to that point. My desire for that. It's like really time to turn that in on yourself. And there's a level of love that you're able to see in yourself now, and that I'm able to see in myself now, that I don't think that I ever was before. And it's like clearly so emotional for me. But it's like so exciting. And And it's not even just like when I interact with other people, it's like all of this positive stuff and they say really beautiful things to me and whatever. It's more like I speak up for myself and I'm like, hey, that's not okay. Like, that's not like one of my core values. And like, I value myself so much that you're doing or saying, that's not okay. And I'm not afraid of what the repercussions of that are, like I always was. So it is a scary thing for me to speak up for myself, but right now, it feels so good. So sharing that with you, with me, really, like I'm saying this to myself because I see myself on the screen right here. It's like I'm sharing all of this love and all of this knowledge as it comes through, as I connect the dots, sharing it like with myself. So this week in therapy, it was like so beautiful. And something has awakened. I just have been seeing signs and synchronicities and the way that things are lining up. Like the flow and the magic of the universe has started to come back again. That thing that she believes in so deeply. Like she is allowing herself to believe in magic again. In the thing that is unseen that she knows in her body. The language of her body, the communication of her intuition and the light from inside of her, the way that she understands that and communicates that and like puts the dots together, it's like so exciting. It's starting to come back again. I lost that for so long, being closed down and scared and in survival mode. I did need to go into this protective area in order to give her the space to reprocess the things that she did. And it was really just me and her in the closet working through these things, her just in little bits telling me what was going on and what was happening and how she was feeling about it. And don't tell anyone. And now I had like a procedure done last week that it feels to me like it was in my womb, so freeing and so empowering. It was a huge step forward. So this week in therapy was all about reinforcing little moments of joy. Like you can't go from 40 degrees outside to 80. It's too overwhelming. It's too much. Then the heat doesn't feel like warmth. It feels oppressive. It feels like too much. It's these baby steps of happiness that she's learning how to allow in. And that's what we sat there, and she was like having this realization that she doesn't remember what happiness feels like because the way that she sees it, it's like these huge moments of like going to an amusement park or something, and all day it's this overstimulation and it's fun. And we've been showing her and trying to show her the way that happiness is a slow build, and it is teeny tiny moments of beauty that she's been ignoring that come from like the signals in her body, these little moments that add up to big happiness. And even in terrible moments, even in things that would rock her, being able to feel like the savings account of that joy that she has stored away because she has taken more time to notice them. So we sat and noticed all of the little moments that I had been noticing in the last week, since all of this magic in the universe, signs and synchronicities and flow has shown itself to me again. And there's something to be said for when you're in a flow state to store some of that away for when you end up in an ebb state, so that you can then dig into your like reserves. Noticing like this little moment, this little moment, this little moment. And we just sat there, and I would notice this moment. It was like, I find feathers and hearts all the time when I go out into nature. They just pop up. They just show up, and it's like such a fun gift. Like, it's like such a childlike thing to find a feather. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I have this whole bouquet of feathers downstairs that I find when I'm out walking or hiking or whatever. And so it was like we just went through this timeline of all of these little moments that I had been experiencing in the last couple of weeks. And when she found that feather, it was like this surge that immediately, like a lot of times what she does is like she feels this joy, and then she's just like, oh no, tone it down, tone it down. They might see you. So I just like let her sit in it. Like there's no one else around. We're in the middle of the woods right now. We're just on this trail. You just found that feather. Do you remember what that felt like? And we sat there with it, and she looked at it, and she was wondering what kind of bird it was from, and she felt like it was a gift for her. And she was like, could it be? I'm like, well, did anybody else find it? It was like right in front of her on the path. There were no other ones sitting around. It was just that one. And I was like, what are you feeling right now? And she's like, I feel so happy. I feel like they singled me out, and they see me, and they like dropped it right there for me. And I love gifts. And so she was so excited about it. She was like, squee. And I was just like, okay, is this okay? Like, are you, this is joy. This is what that feels like. It's just, it's not connected to anybody else or anything else. It's just this moment, this Kairos moment. Is this okay? You okay? She's like, and then I'm like, okay, can we do another one? Do you want to go to another one? She's like, yeah, that's fun. This is fun. And then we went to another one, and it was, like I notice hearts in the woods all the time, and it was just like, I don't even think about it. I'm just walking along, looking at stuff, and then I'll round the corner, and there's this spray painted heart on a wall or something like that. Or, and so we turned the corner, and I was just like, what's your feeling now? And she's just like, oh, I see what you did there. It's this connection to something, to some sort of force that doesn't feel scary to her. And it's just this knowing, it's like this little inside joke with the universe, with God. And she's like, ah. It's a very special thing. Does everybody else see hearts all the time when they go out hiking or out in the woods? Or like it means something. It's just this little inside joke. And she loves to be a part of it. I'm like, is this okay? How are you feeling? You're feeling good right now, right? And she's like, yeah. We went through a whole bunch of those moments, and it was really just about reprocessing joy. So it's like, you go through and you reprocess traumas, right? I feel like she, in her mind, experiences joy, and it's so uncomfortable for her that she processes it like it's a trauma. Joy is like a trauma to her. And so she errs on the side of density and depression, and because she knows that, that matches, that feels like a trauma, that feels like she should be sad in this kind of situation. She errs towards sad in that way. She doesn't want to err towards joy, because it's like you're seeking this joy. That's a trauma every single time we do it. Why would we do that? I can only handle a little tiny bit of it at a time, because if I allow myself to open up to even more and be joyful, there is this thing that comes in to knock it down and just be like, who do you think you are? It's like a fear of judgment or something like that. I was on cloud nine. I left there, I left my therapy, and I was just like, I feel so good right now. I feel so good. I have been so exhausted. Now, this is connected to the medical procedure that I had done last week too, and I had it done under anesthesia. And one of the traumas that I've been processing is being drugged and taken advantage of. And like not having power over myself, my physical body, and just like the being drugged, not having a choice, not having control over it, it not being my choice. And it is like a twilight though. It's like I can see flashes of certain things and then nothing, and then flashes, and so I was aware but not aware, and disconnected with my body. Disconnected from my body, like it's this physical, heavy, like sedation, the feeling of sedation. And so I've been processing and reprocessing and blah, blah, blah. And, the feeling of like disempowerment when it comes to like, I would love to do something about this right now, but I can't even move my body. So this medical procedure, I chose to do it under anesthesia. I didn't have to, but I chose to in order to not experience as much pain because it's pretty painful. And I was kind of on the fence about it, and I was back and forth, and I was just like, it's going to cost a lot of money to do it in this way and to do it in a hospital setting and just copays but why do I have to go through the pain? Why do I have to go through the physical pain of it? And I chose it, and my mom helped me to choose it, and she helped to like take care of it too. And she was like, I wouldn't want you to do it any other way. You deserve to. Like, why do you have to leave? Why, if you have the choice to do it without pain, why would you like choose to put your body through that? It's okay. And I was like, okay, good, right. I was so glad afterwards that I did it with the anesthesia. And I slept and slept deeper than I probably have in so long. It's almost like that anesthesia allowed, I've been so exhausted from all of this. It allowed my brain to rest, my body to rest in a way that it hasn't in years. And it was like, my mom took care of me. I felt this level of safety. It's almost like I can see that it was the moment I came out of survival mode. It's very significant to me that I was surrounded by women. The nurses were amazing. The doctor was amazing. She came in and talked to me ahead of time and asked me if the pain gets to a certain point, do you want this, it was like a cervical block. It's your choice. And she's like, or we could just see how it goes. And if it gets to be too much, then you can tell me, you don't have to decide right now, but it is your choice. And she was so I just trusted them so much. The nurse was like the sweetest woman. And when I went in there, the other nurse that was in there was like laughing with me. And I was telling her that I feel like this sedation, the twilight sedation, I was like, I feel like it was, I guess I was expecting it to be even more twilight than this because I felt like too aware almost, that it wasn't enough. She was like, okay, I'll give you more. Do you want more? My mom was waiting in the hallway. Even before the procedure, she wanted to come in and talk to me and like hug me before I went in. It was this process of just total choice and empowerment. And I realized that in therapy the other day, that it was this like parallel experience. It was the trauma, being sedated, being drugged, and having, something done in my womb. And after reprocessing it, it's like this exact same situation again, under anesthesia, something being done to my womb. But the reprocessing that we were doing was, I'm going from the thought, the idea that I'm helpless, to I get to choose. We've been working to reframe that and reprogram that I get to choose. I've put in so much work to get to that point, to receive it, to anchor it, to have that be the new default. I get to choose. And this situation, I chose every single step of it. And they honored the fact that it was my choice all along. The doctor even talked about how this block or this anesthesia, it was never the norm before, and male doctors, I guess, saw it as like an option or something that, I don't know. She said something about how, well, shouldn't we give them the choice though? Like, they see it as not necessary, the anesthesia and the pain block or whatever it is. They see it as not necessary, and so like you have to pay extra for it too and stuff like that. Or they want to just give it to you automatically and just like, she was like, but shouldn't it be their choice? Shouldn't we give them the choice? The fact that the parallel of the symbolism of the way that the situation feels so exactly the same, but it wasn't a violation. It was like I chose every single step. And there's this understanding that I even chose that trauma, that old situation, my higher self, before I came here. I chose that too. I chose to go through that in this human life and to experience that in order to move me into my purpose and go where I'm supposed to go and do what I'm supposed to do and go through the evolution. There is this evolution of awakening and freedom and freeing the feminine, because it's part of my role here. And so it makes that situation, that trauma, feel so much less helpless and more like, oh, I see what you did there. It's like a weird inside joke and very painful, but it's like now you will be reaping the rewards. And I just see this feather again, like I'm being given a feather as a gift for my bravery, and not only for having gone through that experience and that trauma, but for processing afterwards. And like, it was buried so deep. Noticing patterns in my life, is so subconscious. I didn't even know that this trauma had happened, that it was there. I just knew that something was up, and as soon as I started awakening, it was like I just started digging deeper and digging deeper and digging deeper. And by the time I got to it, with the help of someone who I was with at the time, who held my heart and created this safe container for me to be able to access the depth of that and to bring it to the surface, and this realization that this thing happened. Dug so deep to get to it, and then like re-experienced it. And kept facing it, as scary as it is to face something like that the only reason I knew that it was there was because I trusted my intuition. I don't have very, very, very specific visceral memories of it. But there is this sense in my body that I had to learn to trust to get to it, to know that it was there. You want proof? I don't have proof for you. I just have proof here. So it took a level of trusting myself and loving myself enough to just find a therapist who was just like, okay, let's go into that then. I believe you. Let's do it. That now the work that I've done is, it's like now you get to reap the rewards. You get to reap the rewards. I get to reap the rewards. And I just feel like I'm right in the thick of this realization. And I just, it feels so freeing. I was texting with my Reiki master yesterday, or the day before, and I was telling her I was trying to understand something about the Reiki. And she explained a little bit to me, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. It feels like she was explaining this ebb and flow, the way that Reiki comes in, and then Reiki backs off, and then Reiki comes in, and Reiki backs off, and she was like, sometimes God is doing his work, and we need to just back off, and she asked me, does that make sense? And I was like, yeah, it feels kind of like ebb and flow. It feels like the difference between doing the action of doing Reiki versus the inaction of just being Reiki. So the ebb feels like just being Reiki. And it feels to me like sometimes I lose contact with the Reiki. But it's because I've just being in the closet, just closing my heart down. So I'm just in the middle of the realization of all of this, and things are making so much more sense. So that, I'm sorry, my brain is all over the place. I want to share all of this. I was talking about how I felt so protected and safe, and like my mom was here taking care of me, and she was waiting out in the waiting room. I think that there's a part of me that was upset and resisted connecting with my mother about the trauma because it happened in college, almost as if I blamed her or something for not preparing me for the possibility of something like this happening. And on the flip side, the healing to this is like this situation. She helped me to actually choose this, and she prepared me, and she told me what it would be like, and she was there for me the whole time, and I feel like back then she wasn't there for me. It's just that I can just see the healing connected to it, and it's so exciting. So she sat out in the waiting room for a couple of hours until I was ready, and then she drove me back home, and I came in and laid down, and she went to the grocery store and grabbed a couple of things, like lots of things. There's just like one or two things that I needed, and she got like fresh fruit, and she got just like a whole bunch of things to have in my fridge for later, and she stayed there the whole time. I thought she was just going to drop me off. She stayed there the whole time. I slept for 4 hours. And she was downstairs. She made lunch too, and she cooked me up a hot lunch, and she was just there the whole time. It was like that little girl who just wants to be alone, but doesn't want to be alone. She's hiding in her closet. She resists being around other people even though she craves it. She really wants to be loved, but she resists it too. It's like she just opened up. It's like the drugs force me to sleep, to rest. She's so exhausted. You deserve to rest. You deserve to not be in pain. You deserve to not have this be so hard anymore.
You deserve for someone to take care of you. You deserve for there to be food there and not have to do all the effort and all the work all the time. And you deserve to choose that kind of life too. You get to choose it. You get to allow it. There's something in the feminine womb that has opened up to receiving and allowing what she deserves. And then I went downstairs and she was still here and she was like, I had some lunch and then we just sat on the couch and we just like binge watched a new show, and she stayed until, gosh, I don't know, like 8 or 9 o'clock, and then she went and picked up my daughter, and then she came back and dropped her off, and like my little girl is learning how to not feel alone anymore and to realize that she's not alone. And to realize that when she wants to be alone, it's okay. It doesn't mean that they've left. It's okay to take time to yourself. It's okay to be on your own. It doesn't mean that you're alone. So, the dog days are over. I'm just going to read you these lyrics and I'm just going to leave it at that. I know this is a long one. This is about horse spirit too, just being free. There's something in the feminine that has just been freed. I was saying how I was talking to my Reiki master, and I told her that it's just, there's been this big shift and something in my feminine has healed, and it feels really big and exciting. And she was like, congratulations and happy birthday. Like, this is a rebirth. This is your rebirth. And I was like, well, that's funny because it's my birthday, and on the 15th. She was like, of course it is. The next day, I found 2 more feathers, like massive. I think that they're hawk feathers. They weren't striped, they were just brown. So I was looking them up to see if it was a hawk feather, like, are there just brown hawk feathers and not the striped ones? I had seen them at work. They were like huge and sticking out of the ground, and I was driving by with one of my students and it was there, and I had gone past it with 2 different students. And I wanted so bad to just stop, but I felt like I can't do that with my student right now. Like, just pull over and let me pick up these feathers. I was like, I made a note, and I'm like, I'm coming back later to get those. If they're still there, I'm going to get them. And I don't care what anybody else, it's like, was this busy highway and stuff like that. There was another moment too that night where I was just, that whole day I was on cloud 9. I was so happy. I was enjoying all the things. I was in the sun, like conversation, like I was so connected and allowing myself to be open and connected no matter what. And then I had a moment later where it was like my little girl's, worst fear came to be. She was wide open. And I went to this ceremony for my daughter. She was being inducted to the National Junior Honor Society. And I walk in, and the person that probably like dislikes me the most in the world right now, I don't know. There's a lot of history there. I walked in and she was there, and it was like, hit me right in the face, like boom, immediate rejection, just like in a really sweet, fakely sweet way. She kind of told me, this seat is taken, I don't want you to sit here. And it was next to my daughter. And I don't know, it was just blatant. It wasn't blatant. It was blatant to me energetically. I could feel this just like wall of, you're wide open. Stop doing that. Stop being that. Stop being you. I don't like you. Stop doing that. Stop being in that energy. And I just like went into this shield. I was just like, ugh, that feels so gross. Like, ew, why? It was like this judgment. And it was like my little girl's she's like, that's why. You just get rejected when you're you. The next 2 days I've been processing that, and she's been working through the feeling of that and trying to understand judgment and trying to understand where that comes from, and like trying to not absorb it as her own, and there's something wrong with her and she's not good enough, and how dare you be you. She's been processing that the last couple of days, and we've been working through it in order for her to come back to the essence of who she is again and not be afraid of it and really let herself experience joy. Regardless of this situation over here, like, how can you love this person anyway? How can you connect with their higher self? How can you disconnect from absorbing the projection? That's what she's learning in order to still, in any situation, just be her. Be afraid, but do it anyway. And experience happiness. Even if other people, that's what it is. It's like it triggers. Other people have this joy trigger too, where they were in this fully immersive, joyful experience, and then something bad happened or took it away. And they haven't processed that yet. So your freedom, the freedom of you being you, is going to trigger people. You know what else it's going to do? It's going to activate others to free themselves. I am not willing to sacrifice the draw to that anymore, just for the fear of those that aren't ready for that yet, those that project that back on me and send me that signal that there's something wrong with me because they're not ready for that freedom. I'm not sacrificing that anymore. These that call to me, that are ready to be free. You gotta go to depths. You have to do shadow work. Self-awareness is not sunshine and roses all the time. It is a gut-wrenching experience sometimes. But on the other side of it is bliss. And so, tuning in, you have the ability to tune into that bliss, even though it's not in the present, because when you know that it's there and you have this knowing that there's something calling me, I just keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, because I do feel that there is this moment of relief coming and understanding and aha, and it's like you bring it to you and you know that it exists though. And so that journey to it becomes it anyway. It's like the journey is the destination. The destination is bliss and happiness. Then the journey is filled with happiness. It's not just one big moment though. Look at it. It's all these teeny tiny moments. Eventually you're going to be able to feel the depth of that and the enormity of how much you're able to bring in, how much you're able to experience and process. During the journey and during that unraveling of all the other things, there are little tiny things that you can notice, that you can tune into, that equal this big thing over here. I can teach you how to do that. I can show you how to do that just by having done it myself, just by sharing this with you. Sharing yourself, even in a little tiny way. There are those moments too. Sharing your story, sharing something that you've been through. I do this with my students. I've noticed in little tiny ways. I'll just give them a little tidbit of knowledge or something that comes to me, just like this little download, this little message for them. Or I'll share an experience of my own. I'll talk to them about something. And you can see it frees them to not hide something that happened to them or like some sort of pain that they're hiding, that they're feel alone in. So whether it's something joyful that you're sharing with someone else or an experience that was painful or not being alone in it and having to think about it or process it yourself, that is bliss. And when you share it with someone else, you free them to be real, to be themselves. It's just so important that you do that now. And I've realized that I used to do this a lot on this channel. I used to just share my story a lot. I would share my experiences. I would just come on here and tell you where I'm at, what I'm doing, and things that I've been through, and my relationship that I was in. And I stopped doing that for a while. And I try to just do it the way that I think that it will be accepted and to fit in as a reader, as, you know, there's so much I've been doing to just fit in a lot of different places in my life. And the part of me that was born to stand out is the truth. And I can't not be that anymore. I just can't not. So, back to the lyrics. The dog days are over. The first lyrics, happiness hit her, like a train on a track, coming towards her, stuck, still no turning back. This is like where the danger, like the signal of danger would kick in for her. She hid around corners. She hid under beds. She killed it with kisses, and from it she fled. With every bubble, she sank with her drink and washed it away down the kitchen sink. The dog days are over. The dog days are done. The horses are coming, so you better run. The horses are coming. Freedom is coming, and she has been running from it for so long. The feminine has not had the tools to be free to be her, to be in her element and in her essence and being intuitive and just knowing. She hasn't had the container for that. She hasn't had the tools to know like what to do when there is this opposition against that, and to still let that flow, to still be her, to have that confidence in her. That was stripped away from her. The essence of her, I just heard glory in the womb, was stripped from her. It was tainted. And so her being in her most creative, like, sensual self, that's terrifying. Was. Run fast for your mother, run fast for your father. Run for your children, for your sisters and your brothers. Leave all your love and your longing behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. Ancestral programming. You want to fit in with your family? You can't be all of that. You can't have that desire. You can't have the depth of that love. My family is the perfect example of that. Just total dysfunction my whole childhood, and neglect and pain and anger and rage and abandonment and narcissism and just like all of this distortion. And it was so hard for us to find moments of joy and to sit in the joy. Joy was here, pain was just, it was so imbalanced. So what I'm seeing that like part of my job right now today probably is to just go back through my childhood and recognize these moments of joy and moments and like write them down and keep track of them and like go back through and find where the happiness actually was in my childhood and help to balance it, help to even the score. My kids were kind of doing that this morning too, remembering certain things that they learned in school and the way that they learned it and songs that they remember from very, very young. And I'm going to do that today, actually. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. So, obviously, survival mode was the way. The dog days are over. The dog days are done. Can you hear the horses? Because here are they come. And I never wanted anything from you except everything you had and what was left after that too. It's just like all of you, it was just, everything was taken away. Happiness hit her like a bullet in the back, struck from a great height by someone who should know better than that. Struck from a great height, huh? At some point there was this awakening, and it hit you like a freight train. For us, for me, it was this twin flame train. Hit me in the back. And then you start running from it too. It's just like, oh my God. And then that's when all the unraveling started. And I call it the twin flame train. Someone who should know better than that. Who does know better than that. Like, of course, there's a purpose for it all. The dog days are over. The dog days are done. Can you hear the horses? Because here they come. Run fast for your mother, run fast for your father, run for your children, for your sisters and your brothers. Leave all your love and your longing behind. You can't carry it with you if you want to survive. The dog days are over, the dog days are done. Can you hear the horses? Because here are they come. The horses are coming, so you better run. Here they come. The horses are coming, so you better run. The dog days are over. Like, this survival mode is done. Sacrificing yourself, sacrificing your happiness and your body and your mind and your soul for the seeming good of others, or like the way that they say it should be done, or you should be done, or you should be you, in order to receive this validation or whatever it is. Like, the need for that is done. And what's more important than anything else is grace for yourself and your peace. And happiness, just like bliss, no matter what. The peace that you have been seeking, whether you realize it or not, that truth inside of you, the peace that comes from being at ease and in your essence, is the destination, and it is here now. If we need to look at it in small ways, the way that you express yourself in this way, and this way, and this way, and this way, great, let's do that. Or for some of you, you're on the verge or in the middle of a massive awakening, another level of your ascension. And a piece of your heart has opened, a piece that you have been avoiding. It has opened to receiving. You have been able and have kind of protected yourself by giving love, giving love, giving love, giving love. But there's a part of you that is like, okay, well, keep all that over there, though. Even just the mirror of all of that, keep that over there. Like, I can't receive that. That feels scary. That feels heavy. That feels like a lot. And it is. It's a lot, but you deserve a lot. You are a lot. Like, stop being less. It's time to stop being less. And it is okay to say, if I'm too much, go find less. Instead of me being less in order to fit in right there. I'm just hearing something. There is this alchemizing force that you cannot deny anymore. I'm seeing the Temperance card. Ooh, God love the Temperance card. I have this love-hate with her. 33 is the sacred number of the Christ. It's usually Jesus showing up for me. He usually shows up as the lion, not the horse. So this is a different Christed energy that I feel. Open your mind, free your mind. Freeing your mind, that's the freedom that is available to you right now. There is an alchemizing force that is showing up for the greatest good. and do your due diligence to see that it has, I'm seeing like an open field, an open path, an open, I'm seeing like clearing these tracks off, an alchemizing force. So it could be your counterpart, it could be your partner, it could be like so many of you are meant to alchemize with others in order to really access the depth of this, that freedom, the truth in you. There is a match for you. There are many matches for you. So, you know, in your sisterhood, in romantic ways, in work, in creative endeavors, and you have many, many, many partnerships, but it's the same signature truth in that dynamic, that signature freedom and flow and knowing more and connecting more and growing, and it's that same signature in all of those dynamics. It is here. And you're meant to alchemize with these people in many different ways in order to access even deeper levels of the truth of you, the authentic you. You've been in hiding and keeping yourself isolated before now. And it's like, now is the time where you can trust the signals that you're getting. You can trust your intuition in order to be led to those people, those safe containers that are here to support the growth of more of this, or the expression of more of this information, more of this authenticity, and just the way to get to it. It's like the secret path has been opened, and there are others who you can't do it without them. And they can't do it without you. The true you. So you had to get to a point where you were confident and comfortable in being you and expressing you. It's like the signal is being sent out now to all of those, and they will be drawn to you. There is a partner for you too. There is a romantic partner. This just deeply sacred container. That the alchemy that happens there, especially in drawing out the sacred sexual energy that happens in the chemistry between, romantic partners in that way. It draws out the sacredness of that helps you to step even more into this authenticity and even more into this intuitive space and this feminine space. And even if you're a male, it helps you to access your feminine in another way. And it makes that masculine step up and just be like, yeah, let's do more of that. That emotion, that expression, these things that we talk about and these things that we've said to each other, I have been wanting to be free to feel like me and express them like my whole life. And I never felt like I was allowed to, or whatever it is. And you just make me feel so safe to do that. And I just want to do it more. How can I support you to be a sacred container, for me to be a sacred container? This exchange back and forth. It's here. Don't settle for anything less than that. You'll know it. You're going to know it because of this knowing in the way that your body is communicating with you. Okay? There's way more to come. Like the way that things are making sense to me right now, the way that the dots are connecting, the way that I can see connections between this thing that happened and this thing over here that happened, and this person said this, and the way that this person moved in here and did this, and this movie that I watched, and it just is all making so much sense. And part of it is because I have stepped more into my senses. So my brain is making less sense of, or working in overtime to make sense of things. I'm stepping more into my innate physical psychic senses.
that makes sense of the world. And that being so tired and drained and that overthinking, that operating system and the default to operate in that way in this world is not gonna happen anymore. So, to be continued. Oh, and I just realized that I have this, I went to this, my kids, they had free sports physicals in the county where they go to school, and they have all of these stands set up too with, the physical therapy has a table, and they have all these freebies, and they have information for you, and blah, blah, blah. And there was a suicide awareness table that they had bracelets, and they had all kinds of things, and they had information and stuff like that. And there was this period of time not long ago where I could feel the depth of just despair and giving up and it being too much, and people are just exhausted from the overload here because of, like, obviously not being able to process things the way that they should, or being given the sacred container to just be and to, like, be supported while they do the emotional work that they need to do. They're just at wit's end. And anyway, they had this bracelet that I picked up. It says, "You're not alone." So, to my little girl, you're not alone. And neither are you. So, this just has felt so good to share. I have another video that I know is in the process, and I felt like I was putting it off. My dad died in March, and that was a catalyst. That was a major part of this whole thing, healing, and my little girl feeling safe. And was gonna do a video back then, and I tried, and it just didn't come out. And it makes so much more sense now. I told you, things are making sense. It makes so much more sense for me to do it now, because my birthday is coming up, and it happens to be on Father's Day this year. So, there is a video coming up where I'm going to be talking about all of that, and the father wound, and the healing, and the freedom, and my experience around that, and the fact that it's on my birthday, this day of, like, this rebirth that's coming up right now, is significant. So stand by for that. Okay? If you guys need help, if you want to not be alone, if you want to process some of this, if you want to understand how this applies to you and what you need to do next, what's your next step? What does it look like for you? Let me put the dots together for you. Let me alchemize with you too. Let's do a reading together. And if that interests you, if you're ready for help, all my information is down in the box below. Now, the best way to get a hold of me right now is through my email. So just email me and we'll set up some kind of session. If you think that you can't afford it, tell me what you can afford. I'm going to give you a suggested amount for the work that I do and what I think, like how much time we'll need or whatever. But at the end of the day, you pay me whatever you want to pay me, or whatever you're able to, or whenever you're able to. Your expansion and the help that you need, there is no price to that right now. There is an exchange that will happen. It will happen in divine timing. So when it's available to you, that's when you can give me that amount of money, whatever it is. Even if it's more than what my suggested amount is. Don't let that hold you back. You get to choose. You get to choose. Okay? It's about your freedom, and it's about the ripple effect of that freedom out to others who it will also free. If you need help share, there's something that you're supposed to share. There's a part of you that you're supposed to share, and there's something that's blocking you being able to share it. There's love in you that you're blocking sharing. Let's figure out why. You know what the block is? You haven't alchemized yet. You haven't alchemized with the right person who gives you the sacred container to just be it. Whatever it is. Come sit here with me. Just be it. Someone gave that to me. And that was the most freeing, amazing gift. And now it's time to give it back. Okay? Love you.